Hello, my dear kids. Very good evening. This is Sundar Rabindranathan here. Hey guys, what's happening? How is everybody? Suchitra, hi. Am I late? It's still 6:29. Our session is at 6:30, right? English with me. Hi. Shruti Patak, Satvik, Aditya, Navya. Guys, lovely to see every one of you. Today we have taken I would say, a critical topic. The reason being, you need to understand what is social justice. Let's start with this. Okay. Vishalja Vivek, many more happy returns of the day, beta. May God bless you. Have a blast. Hey Neil, every time you ask me, next time you ask me, see, I'm gonna what I'm gonna do. Vibor, you too. Have a blast. May God bless you. Enjoy your birthday. So hi Siddha. Guys, I was asking some question. What is social justice? Come on. Try answering me. All right. Since no one has answered, I am moving on. I myself will explain. Okay. Justice for people? Yes, of course, justice for people. Why? Why do people need justice? Yeah, I'll tell you. So, guys, a quick word about this channel, Vedantu Young Wonders. This channel is for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students. You all know about that. And yes, we have academic and non academic offerings. Academically, we've got math, science, social, and English grammar. Non academically, we have got multiple series. V Pathshala is an online schooling series. We also have a series called Do's and Don'ts of Mathematics. We also have a series on general knowledge every Sunday. We also have a series called How Does It Work, explaining the functioning of different equipments. So it's a varied channel with a variety of offerings. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, right? Okay, so whenever you subscribe, that bell icon will be there. Just click that just to ensure that we are able to send you daily notifications of every live session. Cool? On the other hand, in case you guys are kind of really impressed with the Vedantu's master teachers, you want to learn from them, full-fledged, entire syllabus. Vedantu has come out with a lovely subscription for all of you. A subscription which will give you unlimited live classes with interactive quizzes, not just classes. Every class will be fun. You become super strong to compete with your fellow students. Anytime you miss a session, you want to watch a replay, you can do that with interactive replays. You know what? The best part is the replays have live quizzes. The master teachers, whenever they take session, they write, right? They give you notes. Those notes you can download as a PDF. You can get any number of doubts solved inside the session with quality tests and assignments. Okay, so on top of all these things, 5,000 plus topic wise courses, chapter wise courses. It's a huge bundle. And in case you're looking for competitive exam support, free crash course access is also there. Super lovely, right? So many features, so many classes, very less price. So all you have to do is there is a link pinned to your description. You have to visit that link, all right, and look at all the features and then choose to subscribe whether to 1 month or you want 3 months, depends on you. You know what? To get an additional discount, use this coupon code SRPRO. I repeat the code SRPRO. Guys, one class hardly costs 11 rupees or 12 rupees. My God, so cheap, right? So make use of it, guys. It's a great opportunity. Now, the link is there in the description box. So what are we going to cover today? Introduction. I'm going to speak a little about Bhopal gas tragedy to explain you something very important. So guys, the gas, then what is a worker, an employee worth? A worker specifically. Enforcement of safety laws. Why are safety laws required? We are speaking about laws and social justice, right? Now, environmental laws as a public policy. And so this is what we're going to discuss today, guys. Be ready. To start with, guys, remember this, all of you. Social justice is required because there is a it is a, I would say a natural law that there will always exist inequality among people. At any point in time in this world, you will see a few people who are dominant, you will see a few people who are oppressed. All right. So that means we should not allow the dominant to exploit the people who are under them. All right, let me give an example. At any point in time, we cannot allow the rich to dominate the poor. Correct? Have you heard about something called bonded labor? How many of you have heard about something called bonded labor? People write and they are like slaves. It happens in plantations. It happens in mines. It happens in quarries. Multiple places this happens. Bonded labor. Yeah, so many of you. Beautiful. So that means what? Who are these people to keep others as slaves? Right? So that means the oppressed, people who are not dominant, all right, the marginalized, they are being exploited, they are being misused, they are being oppressed. Is it not? So that is why there is inequality. And to prevent inequality, we need to ensure we have very strong laws to prevent this or to avoid this inequality, to avoid dominant people from stamping the poor. Cool, that's what this chapter is all about. Now, starting introduction. So, to protect people from exploitation, government creates laws. All right, and especially even in markets, there are unfair practices to ensure that all workers are paid fairly. See, bonded labor, there are quarries where people are hardly paid. There are places where people are paid less than 10 rupees per day. Less than 10 rupees per day. Would you believe that? So to that extent, it has come down. Okay? Now, yes, Shankar, I'll call back. Right. So there are laws. Say, for example, there are two people, producers and consumers. Someone creates a product, or like a farmer, someone who produces things, and there are people who consume that. Correct. So both producer as well as consumers have to be protected. We cannot allow farmers produce go a waste. At the same time, we cannot allow consumers being charged very heavily, which they can't afford. Correct? So there are laws to protect the interests of both producers as well as consumers in the market. So the government has to ensure all these laws are being implemented properly. So there is something called right against exploitation, a right against people being misused, right against social injustice. It says that no one can be forced to work for low wages or as a bonded labor. What is that? Right against exploitation. The Constitution has laws which says no child below the age of 14 can be allowed to work as an employee in any factory or mines or any place for that matter. It's called child labor. Child labor means what? Any child who is under the age of 14 cannot be employed as a labor. Exactly, Swati. Bang on. Sir, why people are misused? I'll give you an example. I have a lot of money. I'm just giving an example. I am a rich guy. If I am a rich guy, there is a very poor guy. Poor guy, when you are the starving and you are poor, you tend to, compromise on a lot of things. All right. If you are expected to do some work for 100 rupees, but someone says, I'll pay you only 20 rupees, you are starving, right? You will obviously say, yes, you give me 20, whatever it is. I just need to eat something. This is exploitation. Are you clear? Right. Now, the Constitution also creates provisions to against any sort of exploitation irrespective of gender, male, female, all right, and sex. Cool. Now, by making constitutional rights, government tries to implement social justice to everyone in the society. That's where laws come. So the society and just society, it is only the society which makes the basis for Gandhian socialism. Gandhian socialism is nothing but people where everyone is treated equally. Simple. Don't complicate it. Cool. All right. Human trafficking is all about kind of transporting people from one place to another to use them for multiple purposes, including slave labor. Cool. Now I'm going to speak about a drastic, one of world's drastic, tragic accidents that have happened in an industry. It's called an industrial tragedy. So it happened in Bhopal 24 years ago. Okay, it's called Bhopal tragedy. Union Carbide is a company, an American company. They focus on pesticides. Union Carbide. All right, MIC. MIC is a very poisonous gas. It started leaking from their factory on 2nd December 1984 at midnight. Within 3 days, because that's a poisonous gas, it spread across Bhopal. A lot of places in Bhopal. 8,000 people were dead. Hundreds and thousands of people were disabled. That's called maimed. Okay. So look at that. 8,000. It is like an earthquake, right? Where so many people die. US immediately stopped all the operations of Union Carbide, you see. But even after 24 years, still there are people who are still affected physically because of that accident. And people are still fighting for justice in that area, for safe drinking water, healthcare facilities, and justice for people who got affected by that accident. So, to prevent these kind of accidents, right? These kind of accidents, government is creating strict laws so that these kind of accidents never ever happen again. Now coming back to a worker who is someone who is employed in a factory, who works, puts his heart and soul, his sweat, all right, for labor. So a lot of foreign companies come to India, right? Because they, say for example, US. In US, if they have to pay an American, they have to pay in dollars. And that's huge money. But here in India, $1 is 75 or 76 rupees today. Correct? So it is so cheap labor. Right? So if they pay, I'm just giving an example. If they pay $1,000, it is 75,000 rupees here. Are you understanding? So for a lot of foreign companies flood to India for cheap but quality labor. Labor has quality but very cheap. Yeah. So at the same time, if you go to an American, they will not work for more than 5 to 6 hours in a day. I repeat, they will not work for more than 5 to 6 hours in a day. But when they come to places like India, they can get long hours of work done. 9 hours, 10 hours, sometimes even 11 hours they can get work done. Yeah. So cost cutting can be done by lower working conditions, and there are places where they compromise on safety also. Because if you have to put all the safety measures, it incurs some costs. So certain industries compromise on safety measures. Right. So there are a lot of places like mines, quarries and all, lot of places where people work in very unsafe environment. I want you to visualize, there are so many films where these things are portrayed, guys. It becomes the duty of the government to ensure that these people are, safe. Their safety is ensured. So laws for safety are created and they should always be present to protect people from any kind of accidents. Guys, are you with me till now? I have spoken about multiple things till now. Are you with me? Give me a yo. I would want to understand if you guys are traveling with me mentally. Amazing, my dear kids. Superb. Lovely to see this. Naresh, I didn't understand your statement, beta. Please help me understand it. Super. Now, coming back to safety laws. See, the government is supposed to ensure a lot of safety laws are implemented. Remember the last time we spoke about Article 21, which says the right to life. People have to be guaranteed their right to live. So if someone has to live, they have to survive. If someone has to survive, all safety measures should be taken for workers. Correct? So it is the duty of the government to ensure enough laws are passed to ensure the safety of the working category. So with a lot of industries are set up by local and foreign businesses, there is a great need to implement stronger laws. Okay. So before the approval of any industry, right now, Pollution Control Board, they have to get sanctions from multiple boards. Pollution Control is there, Industrial Safety Board is there, lot of boards are there. They will come for an inspection, check everything, then give an approval. So a lot of processes have been created, but still a lot of slippages happen. All right, people slip through all these things, tricky. Yes. Now coming back, environment. I'll give you an example. Textile factory. You know what? You go to any textile or leather factory. If you go to the backyard of that factory, you will see a huge set of pollutants mixing in water. In fact, a lot of them are running water. Right? And you will see a lot of foam in that water, so poisonous, which runs, which mixes. Despite very strong safety laws, these things happen. Okay? So what is happening to our environment? Then that water becomes unusable totally, correct? So laws for environment are super critical. So it's a public facility. Environment is something which is used by the public, right? So however, till 1984, very few laws were there. All right, environment was treated as a free entity, and any industry could pollute the air without restrictions. See what happened in Delhi, guys. Delhi, Pune, so many places, so much of air pollution. Who caused it? All of us are equally responsible. Correct? So, laws for environment. Government is responsible for creating laws to ensure every type of pollution is controlled. Monitored, measured and controlled. So the polluter, whoever is creating that pollution, has to be held accountable and punished. So according to the Supreme Court, right to healthy life and safe drinking water is essential part of Article 21, which is right to life. Yes? Hi Riddhi, hi Srijana, Sarjana, right Srijana? So guys, government created Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, Namami Gange and Rally for Rivers. So many, campaigns to show its commitment towards environmental protection. So now there are vehicles. Whenever whoever is buying a vehicle, they impose heavy carbon tax, high taxes on petroleum. Why are they giving subsidy to electric vehicles? Because less carbon, right? No carbon, in fact, zero carbon. So these cases, government is encouraging anything which is going to avoid pollution, and government is discouraging anything which would increase pollution. So high carbon tax is there, tax on petroleum is there. At the same time, for electric or anything related to that, say solar panels or anything around that, they give subsidies, encourage people. So internationally, all right, India also shows its commitment towards environmental issues. At G7 summit, you will see SARC, everywhere you will see that government speaks about its commitment towards environmental issues. So there are laws to protect the environment. By the heavy dependency of rich on air conditioning and vehicles, the problem of, see, a lot of vehicles have AC, guys. And because of which, the problem of pollution is getting enhanced. And who is getting affected? Not the one who is sitting inside AC. someone who's sitting outside, mostly the poor. So the government should find a way to encourage and support factories to gradually move towards greener technologies. You also call them as cleaner technologies, right? Less carbon, less pollution, any technology which supports that. So to ensure that workers are protected and their livelihood is taken care of. So it is the responsibility of the government to ensure that they provide a very safe environment to all workers. So what is the conclusion here before we get into a Menti? Laws are necessary in many situations. Okay, whether it could be the market, it could be office, it could be factory, wherever people are involved, they have to be taken care of. No unfair practices can be encouraged. All right, any law which is weak, all right, and which is not implemented well, can cause serious harm to the society and the people. So we have to ensure that these laws, they are not just created, the correct laws are created. We also ensure that they are implemented and monitored. So people can exert pressure, all right, so that both private companies and government act. Lot of protests happen when air is polluted. Lot of protests happen when water is polluted. These things should happen. That's when it becomes visible for the government. All right, the role has to be played by the government while making better policies and implementing them. Hey guys, are you clear till this? I think I have made it clear. I am pretty, uh, you know, sure that all of you have got it. Give me a yo, guys. Let me understand it. Okay, you want a recap, guys? I'm going to do a very fast recap because there is no point doing a recap here. So typically, guys, social justice is all about ensuring equality, ensuring no one is exploited, misused, because there is always inequality. Rich and the poor is there, correct? So dominant and the oppressed are always there. So government has to create a lot of laws. Say, take the example of workers. We need to ensure workers are paid fairly. Then they need to ensure proper laws are there for to protect the interests of producers and consumers. Okay, right against exploitation. Laws should be there to ensure that no child is exploited. Child below the age of 14 is exploited. You cannot allow that. You cannot allow them to work as a bonded labor or a child labor. So the constitution has a lot of provisions to ensure the right against exploitation. So let's take an example of Bhopal gas tragedy. A company from US, Union Carbide, it's a pesticide company. Their gas started leaking on 2nd of December 1984. More than 8,000 people died, hundreds and thousands got maimed, that is disabled. US stopped its operations, but still till those toxic effects are there. Even after 24 years, people are fighting for justice. They want better, some subsidies from the government. They want, proper healthcare facilities, a lot of things. So to stop these kind of incidents, government should make very strong laws. As I already told you, India is a country which can provide very cheap but quality labor. That's why a lot of foreign companies flood to India. But apart from allowing them, we should ensure that very strict laws are, in place to ensure safety of our people who work as laborers with these foreign companies. Right? So it is the duty of the government to ensure the safety of the citizens. Safety laws are important. Article 21 speaks about the right to life, and safety is one among this. So with a lot of local and foreign companies coming in, very strong laws to protect the rights of workers should be there. That is the reason government, before approving any industry, they do a very stringent inspection, check everything, then provide an approval. Now, environment. We all need environment, right? We all, the society needs the environment to survive. So there should be very strong laws to take care of the environment, environmental laws. So there is something called Environment Protection Act 1986. But till 1984, very few laws were there. So environment, anything which is going to disturb the environment, laws were there to to avoid them. Or say for example, government set laws to protect all the environment from all forms of pollutions. Anyone who is the polluter will be punished and made accountable and punished. So it the Supreme Court said right to healthy life and safe drinking water is a part of Article 21, which says right to live. Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, Namami Gange and Rally for Rivers. These are initiatives taken by the government towards environmental protection. All right, by imposing taxes, heavy taxes on carbon emission, petroleum, government is showing its commitment towards environmental protection. Internationally also, government is committed and it is expressing very openly that it is committed towards the safety as well as a cleaner environment. Now, a lot of laws are created, right, to ensure that the safety of the workers and people are taken care. So the conclusion is we need very strong laws to ensure that people are not exploited, environment is properly taken care of, workers are paid fairly, and their safety is also ensured. Apart from the strong laws being created, we need to ensure that they are properly implemented and followed up, monitored. Cool? So people, whenever they also see that something is not happening, they should raise protests and create visibility so that the government notices and take corrective course of action. Okay, guys, are you ready for a Menti, all of you? Give me a joke. Let me start a Menti. Hi, Sita. All right, here we go. Jumping on to a Menti. Woo-hoo-hoo. Guys, I want all of you to open a browser like this. Google Chrome. I have opened Google Chrome. You might open what? Microsoft Edge, Safari, Google Chrome, anything. So type the website menti.com, menti.com, and press enter. It's going to say, please enter the code. That means it's going to ask for a code, right? So what is this code all about? The code for today's Menti is hey guys. Is it okay? Am I audible, visible? Sorry guys, I don't know. Suddenly it said your PC needs to restart and just restarted. I don't know. I'll have to check. Okay, now coming back to Menti. The code for today's Menti is 2725388. All of you, please go 2725388. Guys, we don't have, I think we already lost kind of 3-4 minutes. Let's not spend more time on this. Let's start right away, okay? What's happening? What's happening? Perfect. Ready? First question. Here it comes on your screen. Guys, be ready. First question hitting your screens now. The term used for event in which large number of losses occur to life and property. an event where lot of loss of life and property happens. Is it called toxic? Is it called poisonous? Is it called disaster? Vulnerable? What is it? Come on, come on, come on. My apologies, guys. I think some issue happened technically. So question number 1 is done. Disaster. Superb. Sarfaraz is at the top now after one question. So question number 2 for all of you. Guys, I have repeated the, okay, Priyani, beta the code is 2725388. Amrit, study has nothing to do with your career. Your education has nothing to do with your career. All right. Education is to conduct yourself and lead a life of your choice. All right. So education is a must. Do not confuse that with career. What you are asking is, sir, can I take studies or sports? Studies is a must. Sports can become a career, but studies is not a career, guys. All right, education is a must for any career. Please understand that. Cool. Question number 2. Which word is used for pollution? Contamination, toxic, pure, vulnerable. Pollution means what? One word among this is used. Pollution, guys, choose wisely. Many of you are choosing wrong. This water is polluted. What other word can I use? This water is contaminated, right? Contamination is again pollution. Toxic is a little wrong, guys. It's not right. Toxic means poisonous. Okay. Sarfaraz at the top. Followed by Kashish, Aditya, Mr. Shivam, and Swati. Top 5. Shubhangi, Ada, Jyoti, Sue, and Saint Elmo. 6 to 10. Question number 3 on your screens now. What is the question? What is the term used for a 10-year child working? If a child with 10 years working in a factory, What is it called? Child labor, factory worker, employer, none of these. Guys, don't get this wrong for anything, any reason. Cool? It's called child labor, right? Beautiful. Almost all of you got it right. That's right, my boys and girls. Lovely. So 3 questions are done, and the leaderboard says Kashish is at the top, followed by Aditya, Swati, Shivam, Subhangi, top 5. Su, Jyoti, Sain Elmo, subscribe, Munir. 6 to 10. Question number 4, 3 more to go. Here we go. And the fourth question is this. How do private companies earn more profit? Giving high wages, providing less working hours, both of these. How do, none of these. How do they earn more profit? Guys, super question, answer very carefully. How do they earn more profit? By giving high wages, or they allow people to work less hours, both of them or none of them? Guys, answer will always be D, right? It is B. If they give high wages, they will not go on profit. If they allow workers to work for less time, they will not go on profit. So none of this is the right answer. 4 questions are done. Leaderboard says cautious. Still and well at the top. Wow, what a lead here. Wow. And Shivam is at number 2, Swati, Aditya and Shubhangi. Top 5. Sarfaraz, winner, Sri, Astray and Vaishnavi. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So question number 5, 2 more to go. So what is that question? Bhopal gas tragedy was natural disaster, man-made disaster, both of these, none of these. Bhopal gas tragedy 1984, which I spoke about. 2nd December. Is it a natural disaster or a man-made disaster? So the right answer obviously is, it is created by us. It is man-made, right? Guys, it's not natural, guys. How will it? A disaster happening in an industry can never be natural. It is man-made. We created it. We were not careful enough. Because of that, gas leak happened. So, Mr. Shivam, no, Aditya is at the top. Wow. Mr. Shivam, Swati, Sri, Yash, top 5. Vaishnavi, Samir, Vaishnavi, Ashray, and Aditi. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Question number 6, just one more to go, guys. Here we go. Environment Protection Act was passed in which year? Till some year, very few laws were there, but this was passed 84, 86, 85, 90. Which is the right answer? Environment Protection Act. Good, Piyush. 1986 till 1984, very few laws were there for environmental protection. In 86, Environment Protection Act was passed. So, after 6 questions, just one more to go, the final one. Looks like Aditya is well at the top. Wow. Swati, Shivam, Sri, Vaishnavi, top 5. Vaishnavi, are you having 2 IDs? Magical Rhino, Pinky, Yash, Aditi and Shubhangi. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But guys, the final question, hitting your screens now. Look at that. The question is popping off. Here we go. What was treated as a free entity? A few things are free, right? What is that? Workers, trade, environment, all of this. One among this was treated as free and we kept on using it. What was that? Shailesh, beta, keep refreshing. All others are not facing this problem. Sonakshi, leave it beta. It's okay. People, whoever likes it, let them like it. Okay. Obviously, you have to give them that freedom. Right. 38 of you guys, it's never all of this. Environment was treated as a free entity. We kept on misusing it, right? Now see all what is happening. Greenhouse effect happened one side, air pollution happens the other side, right? So we have to ensure environment is taken care. Resources. Who's gonna win? Aditya. Yes, undoubtedly Aditya is winning. Followed by Vaishnavi, Magical Rhino, Pinky and Aditi. Guys, great job done. Keep it up. Amazing. Congratulations, Aditya. Vaishnavi, Magical Rhino, Pinky, Aditi. Kudos to you, top 5. Ashish Chaudhary, Stel, Saint Elmo, Shrestha, Swati, Shivam. Great job. Keep it up. Great job done, guys. Keep it up. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the quiz. There could be so many of you who got right answers but could not enter the leaderboard. It's okay, guys. Kudos. Keep it up. Great job. So, here we go. Where is it? So, guys, the wait is over. Pariksha is almost there. A few more chapters and we are there. We will start Pariksha. So, hit the like button without fail and let me know you like the session. And yes, don't forget to subscribe to Vedantu Young Wonders and click on the bell icon. Thank you guys. Lovely, lovely interacting with you. Now I hope all of you are aware what is social injustice and why those laws are required. Thank you so much. I will meet you guys tomorrow. Until then, bye-bye from Sundar Rabindranathan. Take care guys. Bye-bye. Have a nice evening.